on your heart, please make time to do that. Well, our next presenter I'm excited to hear him. It's John Waller. John is a contemporary Christian singer-songwriter for over 20 years. His songs have been featured in many films that I'm sure many of us have seen, like Fireproof. What's the other one? Fireproof. What's the latest one? War Room. War Room, and I bet you recognize this song from that. His latest venture is starting a coffee brand called Crazy Faith Coffee Company, connecting coffee with stories. What's really cool is you'll find in the marketplace, he has a vendor booth. Please check it out. And he has provided all the coffee that we'll have over the next 2 days for us. So thank you very much, John. Welcome John Waller to the stage.
Is it on? There we go. How's everybody doing?
Great.
I'm local. I'm from the south side of Atlanta, so I live in Sonoya, which is home of The Walking Dead. If you are a fan of zombies, I live among them. First time to launch out, so honored to be here. My wife and I, we been married for 20 years, and I've always dreamed of writing songs and touring, being a touring artist. I started writing songs because I heard one song on the radio that just had the kind of impact on me that made me say, that's it. That's what I want to do. That's the dream. And so I set out after that dream and figured it'd take a couple of years to get in, to really get into the stride of that dream. 15 years later, finally get a breakthrough. And so it became, went to a national level. Of course, most things in life are not what you think. They look like one thing on the outside, and you get inside it, you're like, this is not what I thought it was. We always build things up to be bigger than they are. But I've got the chance to live out my dream, and I got to a place where I'm like, there's got to be more than just music, So my wife and I started praying about what is the next crazy thing that we can do, because we've always lived in such a way that we have to trust God. And so my wife said, after we had 5 kids, she said, I feel like we're supposed to adopt a child. And I was like, well, I said that 3 kids ago. And you were like, no. So now she's saying it. So we had 5 kids, and I'm like, okay, well, that means we'll have 6 kids. I'm not even sure legally they all fit into any of the vehicles we own. But we set out to adopt 1 child. And I'm like, okay, where do we go? Our friends all went to China. So we're like, well, we'll go to China, And then started praying, and I had a dream one night. And I don't dream like this often, but it was so vivid. I was in an orphanage, and I was surrounded by all these kids, and they were all older kids. None of them were younger, no babies. We weren't looking for a baby. We were looking for a 3 to 5-year-old child, a girl, and all these kids were way older than that. And I see this one girl out of the corner of my eye, and she's sitting by herself, and I look over at her, and I just said, hey, and she looks up at me, and I said, what's your name? And she said, my name's Anna. And I said, Anna, how old are you? Because I thought she was at least 7 years old. And she looks right at me, and she says, I'm 10. And I was like, there's my daughter. And I'm thinking, she's not Chinese, though. But she's not American either. And I woke up, and I was emotional. I told my wife about this dream, and I said, I found our daughter. I think I know who she is. And I think she's Eastern European. I don't know where, but I think so. 2 days later, we found this little girl, and she was up to be hosted through a hosting program, and she was about to be 10, and she was the last one to be hosted, and she had not been hosted, and I'm like, wow, this is too easy. And so we decided we'll take her. They said, well, are you sure? And we're like, yeah. They said, well, she's got a brother, and they're a package deal. And we're like, okay, I know we said we were sure, but we're not sure anymore, I'm like, there's got to be another girl that looks a little, because when I saw her face, I said, that's the girl in my dream. And but there was no brother anywhere. At least He didn't introduce himself. And so we decided to host these kids for the summer, and we fell in love with these kids, and we're like, all right, we're going to adopt these kids, and we're going to have 7 kids. And yes, everybody's going to think we're crazy, because I thought we were crazy for adopting one with 5 biological kids. So we set out to adopt them, and a month before we were finishing up the adoption, we were about to go to Ukraine, we get an email saying that they have a sister. They've been separated from their sister for 7 years. She went to a different orphanage. And they said, you may have to adopt her too in order to have the other 2. And we're like, no way. It's like, there's no way. That's 8 kids. And I had to buy a church van at this point, a 15, 12 passenger at the very least. And we were fighting that. We're like, okay, but I know this is a journey that God put us on, and I just don't think he would mess with us to this degree unless he were planning to back us up on it. And so we decided as a family, okay, we'll take her too if she'll have us, because she was 12 and she could say, no, I don't want to be adopted by this family. So we met her we flew over there, and we met her on Thanksgiving Day. And she didn't hesitate at all to say, yes, I want to be adopted by this family. I want to be reunited with my brother and my sister. Back up, the day before we went to Ukraine, though, my wife discovered that she was expecting a baby. And so I'm like, this is nuts. So we have 9 kids now. So, yeah, please, I need it. And as a songwriter, I'm like, if I don't get a song out of this, I quit. I'm done. So I wrote this song. It's called Crazy Faith, and it ended up in the movie War Room. And War Room was just in theaters. It was the #1 movie in the country, which I'm thankful for. But we decided to launch out and do something a little crazy and start a coffee company, because coffee keeps us going with 9 children. And I've always thought there needs to be a brand of coffee, for a faith-based audience, who says, okay, we're tired of Starbucks. They burn all their beans, and we want a different brand. So that's my dream. It's just started, and we've launched out, but we're not there yet. So this is a song that hopefully will encourage you. Oh, by the way, the 3rd child, the sister that we didn't know about, she's here with me. She came with me. We call her the free child because they told us, if you'll take her too, we won't charge you anymore. So we got her for free. She's right over there. So wave to everyone. Her name's Lainey. Oh, God, dear, I hear you. You really want me to walk up to that mountain and tell it just to move. This is crazy. But I'm trusting, 'cause with you I know that all things are possible, and I can walk on water if you're calling me to you. And it's crazy, yeah. And Lord, it scares me, oh yeah. But it's gonna take crazy faith. So what if it cost everything? I'm stepping out and I'm taking that leap of crazy faith. Ooh, this house and all my my dreams. You're asking me to leave and take my wife and children where we never thought we'd go. This is crazy. Oh, you know it scares me. Oh, it's gonna take crazy faith. So what if it costs everything? I'm stepping out, I'm taking the lead. It's gonna take crazy faith. So what if it costs everything? I'm stepping out, I'm taking the leap of crazy faith. Oh, here I go. Oh, catch me, Lord, wherever you may lead, I'll go. Lead me, Lord, I'll follow you. Lord, I'll go. And it's gonna take crazy faith. So what if it costs everything? I'm stepping out and I'm taking the lead. Taking the lead. Even if it scares me half to death, I'm taking the lead of crazy faith.
Thanks so much.